The Boojets Bits of the Week.
Ladies and gents, welcome to the show.
Good morning, my neighbours!
And it's time for an alternative paper review.
Monday.
Over to the Mirror now. Royal Health Battle. King and Tonic. Oh, God. Every day. Every single day. The King and Camilla and William and Kate and Harry. I don't know. I don't want to be really, chunty about this. But let me just say how I feel about royal news and royal gossip. I think if you care what happens in the royal family, from a lover's tiff to brothers warring, right up to cancer ravaging the king's arsehole, I think if you think that is worthy of front page coverage, I think you need to speak to your own family a bit more often. I think you have an empty, pointless life. I think psychologically you have a complete absence of self. And I think you should seriously consider, with that absence of self, what it is that you contribute to society. And maybe if you come out with the same conclusion as the rest of us, you should consider permanently withdrawing yourself from it. And then I think there would be an amusing irony, because if you did remove yourself from this mortal coil, here's the kicker. It wouldn't even make the front page of the newspaper. Do you know why? Because the column inches would be gobbled up, because that day William went to go and visit a bowling green.
Prince Andrew's a nonce-burger.
The row over claims of Islamophobia in the Conservative Party, and that deepens today.
We're very much in the period now where people describe the story as having deepened. It's a Tory minister, he's been sent out on the rounds, and Nick Ferrari has asked him the question, whether this is racism, whether this is Islamophobia, and this is his interview. Let's take a watch, shall we?
Where was the tolerance there? Well, Nick, respectfully, I think what Lee said was wrong.
He thinks what Lee said was wrong.
What Lee said was wrong.
They'll say that it was wrong, what Lee Anderson said, but they won't say why.
What Lee said was wrong.
Was it wrong because Islamists are not taking over London?
Wrong.
Maybe it was wrong because there's no evidence to suggest that Sadiq Khan is giving away the city to all of his mates.
Yeah. And as a result of what he said, he had the whip removed from him.
So it was wrong, not because something was factually, inaccurately, politically or culturally incorrect about it, or at least that's what you think. You think that there was nothing actually inaccurate about it. It was just the fact that it upset somebody at CCHQ. And so that's why you had the whip withdrawn.
As a result of what he said, he had the whip removed from him.
Okay. All right.
That's
what was it
action.
specifically that meant the whip had to go?
Oh, Nick Ferrari. Nick Ferrari with his Clark Kent glasses. He's taken a break from asking everybody what is a woman to run into a phone box, do a little twirl, and then re-enter the studio as a Pulitzer Prize winning investigative journalist, apparently.
We agree it was wrong, but why was it wrong?
Nick, it was wrong.
Just witlessly regurgitating the same, 2 or 3 talking points. There was robust action.
And robust action was taken.
The whip was withdrawn.
The whip was removed from him.
And Lee Anderson was wrong.
And Nick, it was wrong.
To say that. Just remember those 3 things.
It was wrong. Was wrong. The whip removed. The whip was removed. That's robust.
What was it?
And robust action. That was robust action.
It was wrong.
Have you got it? Are you sure? Say it back to me. Lee Anderson was wrong. Robust action. The whip was withdrawn very, very quickly. Good. Now, here's a cookie. Now, clap for me. Clap for me.
Let's try this a different way. Was it Islamophobic?
What he said was wrong.
Here's another one. Here, have a fish now. Now, do a little dance.
Tuesday.
They're running with experts warn Hunt over dubious case for unfunded budget tax cuts. And this is sort of in tandem with the Eye, who go with Hunt has 6 days to find tax cuts to save Tory MPs.
The only way they could afford to give us all a tax cut is if they slashed already threadbare, austerity-ravaged public services into non-existence. What is the election manifesto going to be like? Oh, yeah, we're going to give you all the tax cut. Oh, how are you going to pay for that, Jeremy? We're going to, if you just look at point 2 here, we're going to close 40 hospitals. Amazing. Guys, welcome to Aid Thompson and Other Disappointments.
It's the Willy Wonka scam up in Scotland. I've got a news story here. Police called to Willy Wonka chocolate experience as families furious. I mean, I've had bad experiences in various, food retail outlets that have left me seething with rage. But I have never felt the compulsion to pick up my phone and call emergency services. Officer, arrest that man. No, doesn't even inhabit my head for even a second to call the police for a customer service matter. Here's how you know you are still traumatized by your upbringing, or you were raised to self-loathe. It's like I would pay, in all seriousness, I would pay like 30 quid a ticket for me, my son, my girlfriend, my daughter, all of us to go to something comparable to this, which I guess would be pay a ticket to go and pick a pumpkin, or go and choose your own Christmas tree. It's a day out and it's, there's fake reindeer there. I would pay £30 a ticket for that. And I'd walk in and it would be a rip-off, and then I'd leave. And then this is how you raise to self-love. I would leave and I'd be like, I deserve this. I should have researched it. I should have looked into it, and this is what I get. I deserve this bad experience and being barked at by my girlfriend about how shit it was. We went to Legoland a year and a half ago, something like that. Went to Legoland. That was about £32 a ticket. And I went in there and it was shit. It was... I'm sorry if anyone's watching this who works at Legoland or who really loved Legoland, but it was fucking shit. It was so bad. Everything was sun-bleached and peeling. It was dirty. The queues were horrendous. Everything was a rip-off. It's supposed to be a happy place. You're supposed to walk in there and come out laughing with your kids and stuff. I walked out there seething. I was like, 32 quid a ticket. That is premium money. Do you know what else we could have got for £32 each? I would have happily paid £32 each for us to not be here. And I would have been really happy about that. It'd be a great experience. Fuck Legoland.
Wednesday.
You've made your point. Now end the protests, says James cleverly. Which, I have to say, I do quite like this. I like the just brazen balls on the table element of it, James cleverly goes, you made your point, we get it, we understand. Can you rein in the protests now? Yeah, so are you gonna take action? No. I mean, the idea that anyone's gonna stop doing something because James cleverly tells them to. James, if you really wanted to silence a few people, you should try spiking their drinks.
Thursday.
Also in Huntland, the Eye report, budget won't fix UK's unfair 50 grand child benefit rule, so Hunt can afford his tax cuts. What Jeremy Hunt is saying is, I would love to take care of the nation's children in a sensible, pragmatic and fair way. I'd like to do that, but it's impossible for me to do that when I'm trying to bribe people for their votes ahead of the election. That is what he's saying. Babe, of course I'd love to pay the bill for Tabitha's nursery fees, but there's just one problem. I used all the money buying everyone a round of drinks in the pub every night last week. Why did you do that? Why did you spend that money on that? Well, so that then when this story gets out and everyone calls me financially reckless and selfish and cruel, all they'll remember is that I bought them a load of drinks. That is basically what this story is. It's taking money and support away from parents who really need it. What is it even going to be at the end of the month after he puts this tax cut in? Whatever it is, like a penny off national insurance. You're going to come away with an extra, £17 a month? Wow. I mean, I'm sorry that mother of two down the road killed herself. I am, but I'm not as sad about it as I would have been if I didn't have this extra £17 in my pocket. I mean, it doesn't sound callous, does it? I would have been sad either way, but I would have been sadder without this £17.
Friday, motherfuckers.
There is nothing to stop another police killer like Wayne Couzens. Now, this follows the reports yesterday that Couzens was reported 8 separate times to the Metropolitan Police for an array of different offences, assaults on children, on women. How anyone with that track record could ever be deemed suitable for a job in the police force is absolutely floor-jawing. Isn't it? I mean, typically in society, when you see somebody with that sort of personality and those crimes behind them, they would usually be confined to a career as a Conservative Member of Parliament. Oh, wait, no, that's a bit much. Is it, though? Is it really?
Erectile dysfunction be damned. We had Grant Shapps demanding that we don't go soft on Putin. And that was immediately before Rishi Sunak went hard on Lee Anderson. Indeed, everyone's favourite bleached Frankenstein and disingenuous conservative, or as I like to call him, Pamela Lee Anderson, aka the fake tit. He was let go for saying something wrong, guys. But it was something that was wrong, but somehow was not racist or Islamophobic. Things were said, and those things that were said were wrong, but they definitely weren't racist or Islamophobic, because how could they be, guys? How could they be racist or Islamophobic when actually no one is racist in the UK? Because racism doesn't exist. I don't know if you heard that. Take a look at me, said Rishi Sunak. Obviously, racism couldn't possibly exist. I mean, I couldn't possibly have sacked him for doing a racism when literally nothing in Great Britain is racist. Because if it were institutionally and at times socially racist, well, then that would mean that the only way that I, Rishi Sunak, had gotten ahead in life would be through classism. And we can't talk about classism, can we? I mean, you think institutional racism is an overlooked matter that isn't really taken seriously. Oh, it's got nothing on classism. I mean, look at the BBC. Look at the Conservative Party. All of them will have quota-matching diversity hires. All of them will give themselves a pat on the back for diversity. But what problem are we really solving if every single one of your diversity hires went to private school with you and all came from money and affluence? What problem are you solving there? Oh, well, we've got a black man here, and we've got a woman of South Asian heritage over here. I love our cabinet. I love the Conservative Party. It's incredibly diverse. I'm like, no. You've just got a cabinet full of South Asian, black and white millionaires. Well, I don't think you're being sarcastic, but actually, I think it's very good. I think it's very good to have a diverse cabinet. I mean, look, Kwesi Kwarteng, went to Eton, privately educated, city millionaire. Well, okay, well, what about Suella Braverman? Private school up to Oxbridge. Okay, well, what about Rishi Sunak? Are you joking? Are you kidding me? But it's the fact that they come from different, South Asian and people of colour, and that's the point, isn't it? It is more diverse. All right, okay, fine. Yes, it's more diverse. Great job. Good. What a stunning success for social mobility. Anyway, right, where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. Racism isn't real. Right, okay, let's move on. Celebrity sex predator Prince Andrew made a comeback this week, leading the royals into a funeral. Unfortunately, not his own. William went AWOL, and nobody really knows why. No one has seen Kate since Christmas. No one's heard from Kate in about 12 fucking years. Then one of their cousins snuffed it at 45, which usually would leave people like me shaken, But now these days, with the state of the world, the state of the country, for men in our 40s, now we look at a story like this, like you might look at your friend's amazing holiday. That you're kind of a bit jealous of. Like I look at the headline, it says, Thomas Kingston, dead at 45. I'm like, wow. So it's within reach.